There we go.
Okay, welcome everybody to today's meeting of the Jones Library Board of Trustees. I'm going to call your name and ask you please to signify that you are present, Farah.
Yes.
Nat,
Here.
Eugene,
Here.
Tammy,
Here.
and I'm Austin. Sarah Lee Edwards is not going to be able to join us today.
Is Sharon here?
Yeah, hi.
Good.
I know of no changes or additions to the agenda. The next item on our agenda is approval of minutes. Approval of minutes.
Did we receive minutes?
I don't think so. I'm looking in my packet. Sharon?
Really?
Didn't
I have mine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent them out, but
I don't seem to have them, so let's hold them until the next meeting
sure.
and we'll
I did send them to you, right, Sharon?
Yeah.
it's fine. We'll do it during the next meeting. Okay, next is public comment. We have one attendee. If you'd like to make a comment, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none. The president's report, I'm gonna just meld it with the library, what's going on with the library building project. So we are proceeding apace with preparations for a groundbreaking. We are continuing to work with our neighbors and abutters to make sure that everything goes smoothly from their point of view, including working out the final details of an easement. We have Collier's back on board with a new team to work as the OPM for the project. There are a couple of things that we need to do in terms of what is the phrase mobilizing before the general contractor can mobilize. And the library, as you know, is closed, being packed up and relocated in large part to 101 University Drive. I've not been in that space, but the outside with the parking and the availability on the bus line seems to me to be just terrific. We have not finalized the date for a groundbreaking, though we hope to do so soon. Okay, any questions about the project? Staff is busy. I take it, Sharon, beginning to box things up and get things ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had I think really quite wonderful meeting with the staff to kind of launch this a gargantuan effort to move things out of the library. And a couple of the trustees, I thought unwisely volunteered to help people move boxes. But I hope that wisdom will return, lest we need to use our liability insurance to cover people's injuries. Okay, any questions about the building project? Farah?
Sharon, is the staff like working 9 to 5 packing? I mean, is it like all day nonstop?
No, I wouldn't say it's like that quite yet. So we're meeting with the moving company tomorrow, so I hope to have more information about dates. And they are providing, we purchased banker boxes, so we'll be, we're doing an initial packing, but then the moving company is going to supply the majority of them for the majority of the collection. And so we'll find out tomorrow when they'll be able to give us those bins. So yeah, in the meantime, they're doing it all. They're doing it all. It's so great. Yes, they're happy campers.
That's
Right.
great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, next item is buildings and facilities.
Our meeting was canceled, so I have nothing to report.
Okay. Development, Lee Edwards is not present. There is some information in the packet. Among other things, it shows that as of the 1st of May, as of April 30th, 2025, the annual fund had
Oh, yeah.
$118,000, $794 from 426
Thank you very much. We're in the middle of the meeting right now.
donors. The capital campaign report, which still included the National Endowment for the Humanities grant, reported that the total funds secured, pledged for the project as of May 1st, 2025 was $40,019,936. Okay. Next on the agenda, PPP.
Okay, in your packet are the forms for the annual evaluation of the director. Most of these are the same forms every year. The only one that changes is the trustee one because we comment on the goals that we set with Sharon at the beginning of each year. The timetable that's here is a bit fungible because it's going to be a little difficult to get these to the staff and the public. So I'm working with Matt Berube to put both on the website, and it's not difficult for people who are willing to send things to me. It's hard to accommodate people who want to be anonymous. So we're going to figure out how we can best do that. So this timetable is a little, as I said, may change. So we do need an approval of these forms. I recommend that we approve the evaluation forms for the 2024-25 evaluation of the director.
Right, we'll take that as a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Farah. Okay, discussion of the forms. The timeline, just to note it, anticipated possible approval on May 22nd. The distribution of the forms tomorrow.
Well, it may not happen this quickly, and I may actually have the completed evaluation sent to me in July because I'll be away the end of June. So these are going to change. I will probably be able to finish the evaluation by the August deadline, but the dates in there may change a bit.
Okay, yep, good. Okay, any other questions about the forms, the process? Okay, we're gonna, oh, Farah?
Tammy, if you need any help, let me know. I'm happy to help.
Okay, thank you, Farah.
You're gonna be
Appreciate
busy filling boxes. You're not gonna have time to pass out
No,
forms.
you're gonna be filling the boxes, Austin. I volunteered you.
Okay, so are you ready to vote on the evaluation forms? Farah voting yes to approve?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Annette,
Yes.
Eugene,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
and Austin votes yes.
Okay, the next item on our the agenda is the library legal actions, and we had a long conversation about this. And Sharon's been asked to sign a few things, and we're not really sure whether that commits the library when she signs. So we had that only the board can legalize signing of something, but we tried to figure out how to expedite this. So we have three things that we are interested in doing. To talk to the town lawyer, if applicable, to confer with the town, to get authorization from the town manager. And then the options would be to go through the entire board, or if we needed to expedite it, that Sharon could go through the chair of the board. So those are the procedures we talked about. It's, I don't know whether it's an official recommendation, but these are ideas and we'd like some feedback on how people feel about this approach. Sharon might wish to make some comments too.
We added it to the trustee bylaws, Article 4 under duties of trustees, and we made it Section 2. So that's been included in your packet.
Yeah, can you just read what was included so that
I don't think that was in my packet.
I did not receive it.
It was not in the packet.
yeah.
Okay.
It it came in the second one of the messages. I think it came in the second message from Sharon's Gmail.
How about you just read it out loud for the moment?
Sure. Section 2, the Board of Trustees has the exclusive authority to decide whether or not to initiate legal action. The trustee chair, in consultation with the library director, town manager, and town attorney, will analyze the issue and then call an emergency Board of Trustees meeting in order to vote on taking legal action.
So is that a proposal, Tammy?
Yes. I didn't see that. I must have missed the second email, so I don't have a copy of it. We did talk about amending the bylaws, but as I said, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen what Sharon just read?
No, I have not seen it.
Okay, so I think what we need to do is we need to wait because of the second email. People don't have it in front of them. This is important enough that I think we need to wait, and we'll come back to this at our next meeting. Maybe the PPP will have a chance to vet that language again. Okay, everybody okay with that?
Okay, Sharon, how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, totally fine.
Okay. Okay, so the only other thing is the Jedi report. I defer to Farah for that.
Well, we had to postpone our meeting last week because we don't have a quorum. Our meeting is tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning. You are all welcome
Where
to
do you
attend.
meet?
Sorry?
Where are you gonna, are you meeting?
Oh, a
Zoom?
virtual Zoom.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for the PPP? Okay, Sharon, do you want to talk us a little bit about the budget?
We held a budget committee meeting, didn't we? Or did we cancel it, Nat?
No, we
can't.
did not. We did not
We
meet.
canceled it. So everything is going well. You know, it's towards the end of the fiscal year. John is still closing up the Lynn's federal grant. It's a silly long process. What else can I say? It's pretty stable. Do you guys have questions, Nat? Is there anything you can think of that's
You met
outstanding?
with the finance committee. You said that went well for next year's
Oh yeah,
budget.
that's right. That went great. Our budget request presentation to the Finance Committee of Town Council. We were first up and they were very appreciative that we answered their questions so quickly. And highlights. I don't have my notes in front of me, but I do remember telling Nat how well it went. That's all I got.
Meaning the finance committee has accepted the
Yeah,
submission with the proposal.
right,
All
right.
right,
And
hold,
they thanked you all for sticking to the 4%, the recommendation, the guidance from the town manager. And I have not heard how, because we were first up, I haven't heard how the other departments, their presentations have gone. So, that's all I know.
But yeah, Sharon had great responses to long list of written questions. So I thought that was really, really well handled.
good, good to hear. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Lee, wherever you are. Okay, any questions about anything related to the budget? All right, Friends of the Jones Library. Mr. Morse.
Yes, good afternoon. I must apologize to the trustees because I've been missing Friends meetings because of the demands of medical appointments. But as I was sitting here, Elaine Donahue very nicely sent me the minutes from the meeting, the last meeting. We have a annual meeting on Sunday, June 8th. Everyone is invited. Will go from 3 to 5 p.m. The interesting part will go first. So with our speaker, Martha Ackman. So that will be at the Munson Library, Sunday, June 8th, 3 p.m. The annual fund is doing well. At the last meeting, it was reported as having a balance of 118,000, which is better than last year's 104,000. So that is going well. And that's all I have. Nat, who I think was at the meeting, if Nat has anything additional, he's welcome to chime in.
Just if people haven't heard of Martha Ackman, I guess she teaches at Mount Holyoke, and she's written books in the past about subjects such as the first woman to play in the baseball in the Negro Leagues. She's written a book about Emily Dickinson, and she has one forthcoming that will be about Dolly Parton. So it sounds like a really interesting program that everyone should be interested in.
Right, thank you. Okay, questions for the Friends? Again, great thanks for the work that the Friends are doing in support of the library and the development work that the Friends are sponsoring. Sharon.
So I'm going to start with happy news. The library is going to be participating in Amherst's first annual Amherst Pride Parade, and you all are invited to walk. So trustees, staff, community members. This will be, I can't believe I didn't write the date down. It is on, I want to say the 22nd. It's a Sunday. And people will gather at 11 a.m. and the actual parade starts at noon. Both the library and the Capital Campaign will have a booth for afterwards. There'll be tabling. You can wear your Sammy Pride t-shirt and join us if you'd like. Let me know if you'd like to be a part of it so we can just do a head count kind of a thing.
Could you
Uh,
let us know
mhm.
again the date, the time, and the place of assembly?
Yeah, I don't know the place of assembly. I didn't write
Well,
that
you can let
down.
us know. You don't have to let us know now, but it would be, let us know.
Yeah, and it's Sunday the 22nd.
Right.
I think it's at the high school or the middle school, because I remember seeing those messages.
Sharon will send
Excellent.
us the place of assembly.
Beautiful. As far as sad news goes, so talking a little bit more about the MBLC and their the funding that they rely on from the Institute of Museum and
Yeah.
Library Services, which the president has determined is unnecessary. So the MBLC, uh, um, they're still in this waiting period. And unfortunately, you can't run an entire statewide organization in the hopes that maybe lawsuits will be won and possibly $3.6 million will be coming from the federal government. So what they have decided to do definitely as of July 1st is they are cutting 21 of their databases. 6 of them will be remaining. And so I asked staff to give me, a breakdown of, how does that affect our patrons specifically.
Mhm.
And it constitutes about 5/6 of our database usage, our patron usage. So it's a big hit. That being said, it's not a large portion of our circulation and usage. So it's not this is a really hard hit for school libraries across the state because the school libraries really rely on these Gale databases. And well, the Boston Globe, that's a big deal. Peterson's, these are all
Yeah.
transparent language online. Um, I it it breaks my heart that I'm like not okay with this, but it could be worse. And it may get worse before it gets better. I don't know what they're going to do regarding staffing. So if this is the worst of it, it's good. But there's more to come. Those were really the highlights of the things I wanted to talk about, other than the staff just packing.
Let's just be clear about this MBLC thing. The MBLC budget cuts do not affect their construction grant program.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Though they will affect the ability of library users across the Commonwealth to access certain materials.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, any questions for the director?
Sharon, is this affecting the delivery systems?
Not yet. I mean, I say not yet, no. And what the MBLC keeps saying is that their core services are going to stay intact. And I think we all agree, interlibrary loan to statewide delivery is a core service. But like I've said before, the buckets of money can be fungible, and so if they've got X amount of dollars, but where they allocate those dollars, if one pot has to shrink so that another pot can expand, I'm worried about what's going to happen with those other pots, and I just don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, other questions for Sharon? Sarah?
Sharon, might this affect programming for us? Or is this all up
It
in the air?
shouldn't. It shouldn't
Oh.
really. This is about databases, interlibrary loan. Libby. Libby is intact right now.
Mhm.
But it's like the programs that these staff oversee. If the staff members go away, I don't know how the different programs will be overseen. So there's still so much
Yep.
that they don't know.
Thank you.
Okay, other questions for Sharon? So one of the things that we want to stay on top of is the progress of the move. Any complications that come up, you will obviously let us know. Probably would be nice to have an event at 101 to kind of mark the kind of grand opening of 101, and it would be great if we could arrange it and we could all be there and celebrate the opening of 101. You also want to stay abreast of what's happening at the branches, utilization. How's that gonna go? I have a question about homebound. So what can you tell us about the homebound program? And
The homebound numbers are through the roof, and I don't have them in front of me. But yeah, we have record numbers of people using them, record numbers of volunteers helping out with the program. I can bring those figures to you guys next month.
That would be great.
And before you go on to a different track, I, I wasn't sure whether or not to talk about this, but I did get to meet, George and I got to meet with some 3 members of the Fontaine team today. These
Right.
are 3 folks. These are going to be boots on the ground people. And so we gave them a tour. We showed them every nook and cranny of the building, and so they know what they're in for now. And so that was great. We're going to meet with the moving company tomorrow. I already said that. Project team meetings are going to start happening in June, probably weekly, and it'll be the town, it'll be the library, it will be FAA, the designer, it'll be Colliers, and it will be Fontaine. So everybody will have several seats at that table. So that's coming along. Next week, we're going to meet with the folks from the Drake so that we can talk with them about their site access, because their building really comes right up against our
Mhm.
property, and so we want to talk about with them, where the fencing is going to go so they can take care of their trash concerns,
Right.
that kind of a thing. And there was something else you said, Austin, that I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, but it went out of my head. So things are moving. Yay.
Sharon, when do you think you might open at 101?
It's definitely hard to say. I will know more tomorrow. It's really all about the moving company. Bob Parent was concerned about whether or not, when they would be prepared to mobilize, whether it would be immediately or maybe they've got other projects that are going on. So it depends.
Okay, thank you.
And do you
Yeah.
have a sense of once the move has occurred and everything is physically there, how long before the library is up and running?
I would like to think a couple of weeks. Again, it kind of depends on what kind of problems we're going to come up against. I mean, there are
Yep.
definitely going to be issues that we
Yep.
won't know about until we get there, but it's not an old building, so it shouldn't be those types of problems. The IT, the computers, that's a big deal because without computers, we're nothing.
Mhm.
So a lot of it will depend on what they do. But the staff, what we've noticed is they move very quickly. They know what needs to be done, and whether they're packing or unpacking or arranging, that's not going to be something that slows us down. So I think, once staff can get in there and start setting up, furniture, which we're relying on the moving company to do,
Yep.
it'll happen quickly. And the special collections collection is actually going to go to a storage facility uh, in Hadley. It's sprinkled and alarmed and climate controlled and all of this. So that's happening at the same time.
Programming is going to happen in some of the ESL and St. Bridget's.
St. Bridget's and as well as at the Bang Center, and we have some teen programs that will happen at the Bangs. So a huge shout out to the folks at the Bangs for making space, because that downtown location being walkable from the middle and high school is really essential.
Right.
Um, all of our community partners have been amazing. So everybody's, yeah, just been great about working with us and being patient. And we've all been nervous about when we announced to the public that, we'd be closing so
Mhm.
quickly. We were worried about patrons and what they need. But patrons right down to the last minute were so excited
Right.
and commented to the staff. So it was really great for the
Right.
staff to hear all sorts of good and exciting things. So,
The
yeah.
last thing I wanted to, two last things, I'm sorry to keep you. I want to make sure that the next time that we are together, when Lee Edwards is here, we can drill down into the question of how we are going to go about replacing the NEH funds. and what is happening in the capital campaign world in light of all the excitement that's generated now about the project moving forward. So when Lee's back, we want to really try to understand what is going on and what the plan is and how we're going to think about replacing that money from the National Endowment. We continue to have extraordinary support from our state legislators, from our congressperson and his office. So we're grateful to them, obviously, for their commitment, their hard work, and their sticking with us as we go forward. The last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to remark on what a fabulous photographer Gene is. So Gene was there at the library staff meeting closing, and he took amazing photographs, both of the staff and of places in the library that we may not want to remember, but there's now a record of them and the way they look now. And that was just great. It was a really great thing to do. So I want to just thank Gene for the great photography that produced that wonderful display of photographs on something that I barely understand called Flickr. So it was nice to see Flickr.
Can
So thank you.
yeah, can I also say, Austin, so Eugene, so, millions of photos have been taken of the Jones over the past 100 years, and especially over the past 10 years because of the building project. But it's been pictures of problems, leaks and mold and all of that. The pictures that Eugene has been taking is not only of staff, so the human aspect of it, but things in the library that staff have like put up on the walls and kids crafts and things that make it lived in, that show that the building has been lived in and what's been happening there over the past 100 years. So I value these photos. The staff really love them. And I think that, they're all going to go into the archive. So everybody will be able to access them. And, in 100 years, when another set of trustees, another set of staff, another set of building committee, whatever happens, then, they'll be able to look back and say, oh, wasn't this really sweet? Look what they did. Or, wow, they were insane. But so thank you for your time.
And Eugene, don't take all the plaudits, because there were lots of complaints from trustees about the fact that you didn't make us all look younger. So
Yeah.
the
For a
plaudits
fee,
are
that
fine,
that
but
can happen. I could make people look younger for a small fee.
we'll
I
I'm-
tried to
accept
get
that.
you to
It's
smile,
not
Austin.
in the
I
budget.
couldn't quite. I know.
Not in
Um,
I liked the pictures of the basement, all the odd and assorted furniture and stuff that's just been parked in all these different places.
One of
You
the things I had a blast taking the pictures. That you're always reminded when you interact with the staff, just truly how wonderful they are. I was taking pictures yesterday, actually, of the stairway going upstairs, because the peeps in the children's department were remembering that somebody was telling them how they used to chew on the what do you call the vertical pieces in a banister? Balusters?
Ballards, I
Anyway,
thought.
whatever they're called, as a little kid chewed on them. So I took pictures of the teeth mark. So
I
I
hadn't
want
heard that story. That's so
yeah.
great.
I'll have those
Okay.
pictures up later today. Which I did have a question for you, Sharon, around that. And since it's been brought up here, what do we want to do with those pictures? From a short-term standpoint, is there a Jones Library Instagram feed? Could I post them on my Instagram feed? And where also do we want to make them accessible potentially?
Well, they'll go
Going
to
forward?
Catherine and Special Collections in the archive, so they'll
Okay.
eventually end up on Digital Amherst for
Okay.
all to see.
So I'll keep all the original files if they need to be reprocessed. Is there a social media feed that we could put some of them in? Because some of them are quite fun.
Yes, absolutely. And that's more of a Catherine question. So hold
Okay.
off until she gets back from her vacation.
Okay. Okay. I'll reach out to her later.
Thank you.
Whenever she gets back. Thanks.
So I think that's it. I think we are ready to adjourn. Again, with great thanks to the staff for the work that they're doing, and thanks to our library director for her good humor, clarity of vision, ability to organize what is really gargantuan kind of activity. So, and Sharon, could you remind me when our next meeting is?
I'm glad you asked because I think we may need to change it. It's on, right now it's scheduled for June 26th. And so I'd love to reach out to all of you and possibly reschedule.
Okay. All righty. Okay, we're adjourned, everybody. Stay well.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.